First of all, good morning and welcome back to CISG114, Section 1 on Technology and Life after the holiday, National Day. Today it's day number 13. We missed day number 11 and day number 12 and week number 6. Yet we arrived at week number 7. But the best thing about the online environment is even though we did not come to class, you still have a chance to go to the web environment to see what we should have learned over the past week. Now, let me backtrack a little bit. This is what we did in the week number 5. So that it's the result of the first learning contract. Okay, we did not have a chance to do it in week number 6 because we do not have any day of classes last week. So let me see if I can show you this. Yes, very good. It's very important that I go through this so that everybody is on the same page. And I'm going to spend about 15 minutes here, and then I'll give you a chance to share today, all right? I remember that. So let's go through this. We have this important questionnaire done at the end of the first learning contract, and it's very important that because we need to know how to felt about the learning. And so we did this, and the first questions, it's an agree questions. Do you agree that your learning experience so far in this general education course has been designed and read consistently with the GE intended program learning outcomes here? And here we got one person slightly disagree, 7 slightly agree, 9 agree, and 1 strongly agree. So in other words, we have 17 students who support this important measure, and I have to thank you. For the one to slightly disagree, it would be good if you come to talk with me about your personal perspective. It's very important. The second is very important in terms of measuring your response on the course learning objectives. We have 3 course learning objectives in this course listed here, and we look at the results. We got 7 slightly agree, 8 agree, and 3 strongly agree. That means basically we got students who supports the fact that they are actually doing the learning along the 3 important course learning objectives. We will elaborate more on this in the second and third learning contract. The third question asks if you believe or you agree that your learning experience so far in this general education course has been designed and rendered consistently according to the course intended learning outcomes. Now we have actually implicitly told you what those course intended learning outcomes are in the first learning contract. Basically we have 6, all right? Let's take a look at the results. We got the response, again, 1 slightly disagree, 7 slightly agree, and 9 agree, and 1 strongly agree. Now I have to tell you that this is what we call a yes or not question, because in the first learning contract up to now we have not specifically mentioned the course intended learning outcomes of this course except that you read it from the syllabus, okay? And when we proceed in course learning week after week, I'm actually helping you to get yourself ready for each one of these 6. So implicitly, if you feel that it's very good, explicitly you're a student who do not feel that, it's okay, because that is very important. Sometimes we need to systematically get to the specific focus of the course. But again, I have to appreciate that 17 of you actually feel that we're going in this direction. And let's take a look at question number 4. Do you agree that the general education course has been delivered so far according to the course schedule? 2 persons did not agree. I got 16 persons who believe we are. Now basically, if you look at the course schedule from the syllabus and compare with the course schedule that is well laid out through your Moodle environment, you will discover differences, because in the Moodle environment I've actually put more items there, and I have rendered those items in a way that you can do it on your own. Then it's the idea of using the video as well as the online resources to help you get acquainted with what we expect you to learn. Just like last week, we didn't have classes, but if you are consistent enough to go to visit our course, our 9 environment in Budo, you know that this is what you need to learn. And that itself is according to the old pace that we're going, according to the schedules at the very beginning, according to the syllabus, all right? So I again have to appreciate the 16 students who believe they are. For the 2 of you who slightly disagree, thank you very much for expressing concern. And please, if you still feel uncomfortable with that, come to talk with me during office hour or through the document security online. The General Education Handbook is very important. Have you studied them? 4 of them said more than 50%, 10 said less than 50%, 4 said not at all. Now it's natural that we did not study GE Handbook, but the GE Handbook is also a very important document to tell you that the GE courses offer are quite different from the major courses in the sense that, as the rector has said, get a big 5 on the GE Apple and taste the differences between the GE course and the major courses, okay? Now, have you studied course syllabus? That's very important because if you do not study course syllabus, you may not understand what we're going for. So 2 completely, 7 more than 50%, 8 less than 50, 1 not at all. It's very good indeed. Now, which part of the syllabus have you studied as suggested by the instructor? 14 study part A, 11 part B, 7 part C, 2 part D, 1 part E. Okay, so you know that the course assessment, at least 14 of you understand that for part A. That's good enough. And actually, if you're looking at the contents of the Dual Budo environment, we're actually doing a lot on D as of the first learning contract. We're giving you a lot of these specific activities based on the outcome-based teaching and learning approach. And you can see the teaching and learning activity, assessment activity are very well elaborated. And starting from learning contract number 2 and learning contract number 3, we'll do a lot more on Part C, okay? So you can see that the self-regulated learning and transitioning to the problem-based learning is mainly the focus on Part C. Okay, so this is information is good enough. Now, which part of the syllabus you find most difficult to understand? 2 will say Part A, I think it's 9. Part A is the easiest one. 3, Part B, okay. B is just informative. I mean, C is the most difficult in a sense, because it includes a lot of the problem-based learning concept. The 2 of you find most difficult, that means most of you can find handling. 5 in Part D and 6 in Part E. All right, so the most difficult part, according to the number of people, is Part E. Well, reasonable when you get into it because it contains what we call the CILO, intended learning outcome for the course. Now, have you studied the Dual Budo environment as suggested by your instructor? You can see that 3 of you completely 6 between 3 and 4 week box. Egg, fewer than 3 with box. 1, only 1 first with rock. Okay, so that is very interesting. It's important that if you look at the schedule of the first learning contract, I would believe that most of you will select almost 3 to 4 week box because it's after 4 weeks time you finish the first learning contract, and then you did this questionnaire. But I could see from this result, from your honest response, that 8 of you did not study all the week box when you finish the first learning contract. You say you study fewer than 3 week box, that you have limited your choices topics. Okay, that is okay. Let's take a look at this question 10. Do you agree that having studied General Education's handbook helped you understand better this course learning design according to the proper syllabus? 2 of you say no. 3, 12, and 1. That means 16 of you say yes. That will be good enough because General Education handbook contains the major reasons why we have the GE courses and how, in what way. That means GE courses are different from the major courses. That's very good. Now, what about syllabus? Do you agree that having studied the proper course syllabus, including the course design philosophy, will help you understand better the day-by-day classroom and online activity of the GE courses. Here, I'm very glad that all of you support this important field, because you can see that online activity and the everyday usage of the video to help you understand something is very important. But do you agree that proper syllabus, including OBTL outcomes, details has been well organized, help you understand better the day-by-day classroom online activity of the GE course? I got 17 agree and 1 disagree. So then it's I need to work harder to make sure that I can read the last part of this class. Indeed, when we come to the OBTL, a lot of very interesting things there. I have actually not spent time elaborating in the class because we need to focus on the material first. That we will help you learn more in the second and third learning contract. Oh, this is very important. Do you agree that the blended learning, face-to-face, which is happening right now in class, plus the online activity per week before class, during class, after class, and end of week activities, has been helpful to your understanding day-by-day classroom activity? Again, I got 17 who believe they are, and 1 who slightly disagree. So, what do you think? You think that we do not need any face-to-face, or we need all face-to-face? We do not need any blended learning activity. Actually, the blended mode of learning actually could help us to break through the classroom rules of only 3 hours per week, and it's going to be very useful because it's the resources. You can make use of it 24/7 as many times as you want. So many people welcome this. It's the majority of the people. But the only thing that you have to take into account is sometimes people will believe that we're going to use the blended approach instead of the face-to-face approach. No, we are actually keeping the face-to-face approach to make sure that you do not miss the human touch. But the point is, well, how are you going to ask questions? Sometimes in class, ask questions out of many different students is very time-consuming. It's going to be taking the time of other students, so you need to learn how to ask questions during office hours or during the hotline 24/7 in written form. So we have to learn the advantages and the disadvantages of each mode of learning design. And here is just to help us to maximize the advantages and minimize the disadvantages, okay? 14, again, the same question, but this time, instead of focusing on the blended learning approach, we just focus on weekly electronic resources. But when you look at it, it's very interesting. In the blended approach, we just have 1 who disagree, but in the electronic resources, we have 3 students who say, no, have not been much helpful. That means the resources there have not been the best according to the student's view. We still have 13 students who support the fact that the electronic resources are good. Now, the way to respond to that, to improve it, is if you are one of the 3 students who do not agree that electronic resources are good, you have to maybe anonymously, or you can say in a public discussions forum, one way to improve on that. Does it mean that you got some much better electronic resources that could have been helpful to your understanding, or you believe that electronic resources could be well organized? You can be much more effective in turning the tide of your dislike in this classroom. That is very important. That's why we keep the hotline to make sure you got a channel to express with the public discussion forum so that everybody can say something, all right? So this is very important because it's your class, and as a teacher, I'm not a perfect person. Sometimes when we render some resources, we hope that this could be helpful. And if they are not, please let us know and change it. So you can see that when you compare question 13 and question 14, you can see a little bit of the differences in the orientations of thinking, all right? So what about 15? Now, again, it's they are very like one another. The dual format means in each class we do offer you opportunity to interact with the rest of the class by coming up here to share your own learning each week. Now let's take a look at this. We increase the number of disagree up to 4. That means the dual format, you have not actually found that we can do the dual format yet, because in this class, I'm the person who speaks all the time, and I'm the person in charge. But fortunately, we still have some students who are willing to come up to share. And so far we have 2 and 3, and today we have 1 more. So the dual format means lecturer and student sharing in class are actually put in grades. It's really up to you if you want to use it, okay, or if you actually don't want it. So you might have to think a little bit more through this. Okay, so the 3 questions give us very interesting indication of students' orientation. But overall, I'm glad that I still have 14 students who believe that this is helpful, okay, helpful. So 16, how many weeks of electronic resources posted online have you examined since the first week of the semester? Now take a look at the number of figures here, it's very interesting. 2 of you say only the first week, that means you have never read the other weeks starting from 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week. 1 said only 3rd week. Okay, that means I have 3 persons who did not study the week blocks other than 1 block. And I have 2. Oh, yes, you're complaining, right? It's all right. So, anyway, now both the first and the second week, I mean, I have 2 persons who just studied only 2 blocks, okay? And 1 person who just studied the first and the 4 weeks. Now, so it's very interesting. That means you did not see the full pictures yet. Okay, when I ask the questions, do you find electronic resources useful? You just look at the first block, the 3rd block, the first and the 2nd week. Okay, so that is very, that is something very interesting. I'm sorry, I cannot take this call at this point. Okay, both the 2nd and the 4th week. Okay, both the 2nd and the 4th week. So you can take a look at the pictures here, and you can see from the expressed number of which the individual student have already studied, and you can project back on how they are going to answer the previous 3 questions, and you can really take a look at things like this, and you can easily see only 5 persons all the 4 weeks. Okay, 1 person 3 out of 4 weeks, 2 persons the first 3 weeks. So you add them up, it's 8 persons, and then 1 person's 3rd and the 4th week, another 1 person the 2nd and 4th week. So you can see the figures and try to guess the mentality of our students when they answer the questions. How much data do they have? Okay. So I just want to tell you that a lot of very interesting things to read the big data information. And then, do you agree that GE courses help you participate actively in class? Now, take a look at the figure. 6 say no. 12 say yes. Now, I guess 12 you understand you can actually come up here to do sharing in class. You can actually do discussions in class. But at least 6 of you are still not quite sure. So that is very important. I hope that 6 of you understand that you have a chance as long as you sign up for the cohort participations, all right? So let's take a look at this. Questions number 18. Do you agree that GE course can help you develop your own independent learning in the subject area in the future? Now, I'm very glad with these questions because when I look at the fact that I have 16 students who believe that you can actually develop your independent learning here in this course, you do not wait until the teacher tells you what to do, okay? Because when the syllabus, you finish reading the syllabus, you know what you were expected to do. For the remaining 2, I hope that you can come to talk with me if you are not so sure about what you need to do or what you can do in class. 19, do you agree that GE course can help you understand related knowledge applications? Now again, the 2 persons are very consistent here. I got 16 supporting 2, only 2 of you. I do not believe that this is very important. Perhaps you did not study all the blocks. You did not compare the topics and the resources already posted online week by week. So you do not believe that it can help you to understand related knowledge applications in everyday life. So it's very important that we check the responses. Now what about thinking critically? Now I got, again, the 2 persons who come out very consistently. The 2 persons who do not believe that it can help you. This course can help you think critically. Now when you are writing your journal or when you're writing your report, the OIA is basically one way to force you to think critically, right? If you do not try thinking that way, put your notes down that way, you are not actually doing critical thinking. You have to think through a lot of things. And very glad, again, 16 students believe they are. This is very important. 21. Do you agree G course can help you develop a communication skill? Now, let's take a look at 4 persons do not believe this so. I say communication is reading, writing, and speaking. Now, read. You have a reading list. You are supposed to finish doing 1 topic per week. But I did not force you to do it because I give you time to do it. So when it's time to collect the work, it's just 1 topic, our 4 weeks time. Writing. Definitely you did a lot of writing, journals, the report, and the blog. Now what about speaking? You didn't come to hear and talk, or you did not talk to your members. So you have to think through this. Where 14 students believe so. So I have to give a big thank you to those for supporter. And I hope that the remaining folk will understand that the communication skills are mainly developed by your doing the activities of learning throughout the course. What about 22? What do you think this instructor can help you learn to learn? This is very important. Again, I have 16 students believe so, 2 believe not. Okay, now I would say that mostly students who are step to the taught to learn model would like instructor to do more than what we are doing now, because I'm helping the transitions from taught to learn model to learn model. That means you have to do something on your own. But most of the time, reluctance to move away from the taught to learn model will make you think that no, you have to do something more for me. That means the instructor has to do. So that is a kind of mentality. I understand this kind of. Again, you have to see that very consistent 2. Okay, look at the 2, 2, 2 in the periods questions. At least I have 2 students in this class who still have doubts about this approach. Okay, who believe that taught to learn is king. All right. Which item below have you completed and submitted for learning contract 001? You can see that 18. That means all of you. 18 completed questionnaire. We have more than 18 in this class. Say the journal, 14 the discussion forums, and 13 the report, and 15 the blog, 12 the proposals, and 15 the meeting minutes. It's pretty good. But have you mentioned about the time you spent completing this learning contract? 12 say yes, and 6 say no. Okay, then you miss a very good chance to understand who you are. You need to learn how to measure the time. And then let's take a look at how much time per week. Less than 2 hours, 5. 2 to 4 hours, 5. 4 to 6 hours, 5. 4 to 6 hours, 3. Normally, I would say that just preparing for this homework, normally from 2 to 4 per week would be good enough. I mean, for 4 weeks, okay? So 16 hours altogether, maximum. And then let's take a look at how many hours have you actually spent completing a learning contract. 5, 10, 4. 30 hours, hard to say. Oh, this is very honest. That means you did not measure it. You did not measure it. No. 7, 30 hours. 1 hour. Let's take a look at this is a Superman in 1 hour. Okay? If you can complete this work in 1 hour, that means you're not learning anything, I'm telling you. It takes time to process everything you do. And if you're the person who spent 1 hour completing the homework, I'm sure you did not look at the environment. It's very hard to convince you. So, and I got 2 1 hours. You see that. So very consistent. I got 2 persons. The 2 1 hour represent 2 persons who consistently say no. I disagree. It's very important that you give you a chance to learn something. The teacher cannot force you to learn. Yes. 1 day or above, 15 hours. Well, oh, I got 3 students in 1 hour. Okay. 7, 8, all right? So I hope you really make the best use of this opportunity to learn something, because during with the homework is one way, but you miss a very important chance to learn something for your lifelong development, okay? Maybe you do not like homework, or maybe you did not choose this course out of your own interest, but whatever you do in life, you should at least give it the best side. That means don't waste it, okay? Don't waste it. how many journals have you competed? 12, say, week 1, 10. This is, I must tell you that 27 is not well designed. I do not need to collect information that way, but I happen to use a different approach to collect the data, so ignore 27. 28, well, which journals have you chosen your top to discuss with your learning partner? 7 would say for week 1, which is most familiar, 3 with week 2, 6 with 3, 2 with 4. That's pretty good. Now, which reading list? Now, by looking at the way you answer the questions, I know that you have not actually paid attention to the way that we expect you to pick up the learning skill from this exercise, because you really do not read which list. Okay, you just say IT. You don't even answer the bottom answer which question, which resource. This is very interesting. This is a long list. Instead of giving you the pinpointed information. So normally you have to understand that this is very important information that you need to tell. Which reading list, which questions, and which source under that question. If you can't even give this much information, it tells that you actually not put your heart into this exercise. Okay. It's very important that you follow the expectations, okay? So let's take a look at the rather very important inquiry-based learning. Look at the way you recall what is meant by inquiry-based learning. Look at nothing, just learning, okay? So I really hope that you can put some thought into what you write. Most of you have already given your experiential learning here, and I'm deeply touched by the way you express yourself. Inquiry-based learning is not just learned by yourself, okay? Inquiry-based learning, you have a partner, you need to get engaged with your partner, get feedback from your partner, okay? So you have to choose a topic and you need to follow the guideline. So we're going through the structure approach. Remember the video we saw, right? The 3 different phases, okay? And from inquiry-based learning structure approach, we go open inquiry, which is very much the problem-based learning. So you had, I would say that you forgot about what you learned in class. Figure out, create critical thinking skill. No, you don't create critical thinking skill. You practice the OIA in order to help you develop the habit of thinking critically using a specific pattern of thinking. We should be active on learning. No. This question asks you, can you list the specific activity or idea you got through in the first learning contract? And you have to tell what you got through instead of giving. We should be active on learning. It means you have not actually put some thought into it. Discuss rich research, During the learning contract number 1, that's very good. I sincerely hope that you read your fellow students' comment, because you can actually see how your fellow student experienced that. I know what I need to do. I searched on change rather than make presentations. Yes, this is just a homework requirement. No, I think make presentation is not absolutely the requirement at this point, but it's okay. But you appreciate your comment. Now let's take a look at the very interesting part, the last 2 questions. What do you like most? I like how everything is organized, so we know we'll be learning every week. Good. Web 2.0 technology. Welcome back. And then also the design of the presentation can help us learn the topic better, besides the intelligent communication skill. I think it's great. Fitness homework with Team A. Learning how to be an active learning student. Rocks, wikis, you like IBL. Loving that I like most about it because I confident this G course far. It can help you improve my SLE ability. Very interesting. Actually, I'm scratching my head what is meant by SLE with the learning. Help me better understand the way of learning and new information toward the world, such as digital design, learn web technology, get to use you put a lot on the web as well. And I watch video online, and I do enjoy the lecture class. It was interesting and funny. Well, when the class advanced video on YouTube so that I won't miss out anything, and there are already a lot of interesting video on Moodle that makes me understand more about the topic. Many YouTube videos of the class, not as boring as Galley class. Thank you. Okay, add to table. I like the course design that makes it become vertical. I know it's a heavy work though. Well, if you know how to balance your time, it's not heavy. For the design of the course, which I appreciate. I have actually learned a lot from this course in the past. I'm not interested in ICT, and now I see a bright future making use of web technology. In my future career, well, I'm so happy that I have to work this one. Thank you very much. I need to buy you some drinks. I like the music that the teacher played for us. They make me relax. Systematic. Okay, thank you. Now, this is very challenging. What do you think needs to change in the design and content? Not thinking the content, but the layout in Moodle. Say, I'm not in control of the layout of Moodle. This is done in a way because it's open source. I can only use the layout. Sometimes I just use it in a way that it could be easily identified week by week. The latest width should be on top instead of the bottom. That will be interesting because it's not a stack structure there. And because my Moodle goes from week 1 to week 14. If I put week 14 at the very beginning, then so when you go to week 1, you can go down the road, then that will not be good enough. Unless there is a specific function to shift every week's material there. But it's not there in Moodle. It's not that I don't want to do it. No. I think most things have been good so far. Nothing. So many people use it in class. Actually, it's not many, just 1 or 2 in each class. But when you add up all the classes together, it's become many. But the video must be done in such a way that it's used as an enticement to stimulate your thinking, so that you can have some follow-up discussions, which are really popular in with your teammate after class. You can watch more video about the course because we can understand the knowledge easily. And one thing good about a video is you use them, you can watch them anytime you want. Focus on topic. Well, actually, in each week we have a focus, and that is the topic on which we would like to select some video. So I do not quite understand what you mean by focus on the topic. Maybe you think that go deeper, okay? Decrease the workload about this course to put more attention to class activity. Well, actually, I've given you a suggestion on how to decrease the workload. But how to put more attention to class activity means you want to do more in-class activity in class. And that's what we're going to do in studying from the second and third learning contract. Okay, the class will have more discussions. Yes, this is what we're going to. But you need to do something to help because we must have more students who are willing to come to share. And then we can give time to students who, after sharing, to engage in discussions. We're going to illustrate one today. Give more detail to the homework. Well, I think I've given you a lot of details in the homework because from day 1, I've given more than 5 to 6 pages to explain what the homework is all about. Maybe you miss out those guidelines and you believe that it's not enough. And actually, in the very last week of collecting the homework, I sent out a teacher's message to capture all the details almost in a table format to make sure you did not miss any detail. I'm going to walk you through again. Maybe you did not go through the website enough to understand the detail. The layout needs to be changed. Maybe it wants to be on the top. I will put your request to the ICT people, and so that if they could change automatically the layout, then it would be good. But this involves a lot of programming because Moodle is a learning management system with a certain limitations. Okay, it laid out in all these 14 widths. It doesn't have the ability, as I said, to automatically shift the latest width to the top. That means to the very top, and then all the other push down. You still have to do a scroll bar to do that, right? It's not that difficult, but there is one thing we try to do, is what we call put the word with the target sections. But even with the target section, we blur the building. So it's just like, what if the classroom that we have to attend here could be shipped automatically to the front door of the university, so I do not need to walk inside the campus every time I enter the classroom. Do you think that is a good? I think it's good, but in order to do that, what can we do about the structuring? So this is something we have to give a little bit more considerations. Again, too many assignments. Perhaps I have to do 1 or 2 explanations. The assignment itself, behind each of the assignments, that is the journal, the discussions forum, the report, the blog, the proposal, and the meeting minute. Each one of these requires of you to learn a specific skill, okay? For example, in journal, make sure that you do not lose the skills of note-taking. And on top of that, it gives you the fundamental trainings of OIA. The discussions require you to communicate your ideas with your learning partner so that you will have at least one important chance to express the ideas with one single person in your pair. The report requires of you the organizations of detail so that you can put all of this together in presenting something. This requires a lot of thinking, reading, writing, and speaking to make sure you put the best there. Now, suppose we say, oh, you don't need to do all of these, you just need to do meeting minutes. You do not need to do all of this, that means you do not have a chance to learn all of this. So, let me tell you this, the knowledge management cycle that each college students should be able to bring out of the college education is called knowledge internalization, which is practiced using the journals. The knowledge externalization, which is practiced using the report. The knowledge socializations, which is practiced using the forum. The knowledge generations, which is practiced using the blog. And the knowledge disseminations, which is practiced using the blog, the report, the discussion forum, and as well as the journal, which is going to be integrated in your learning portfolio. It will be a pity if we say you do not need to do all of this because you don't like it. So as a teacher, I say you don't need to do it. But what if, after so many years of college study, think back to your secondary school, 12 years. 12 years of training in English, 12 years of training in mathematics. What happened? We discovered that many of the students here after college, after secondary school, entering college, are not able to speak simple English. Perhaps they do not need to do a lot of speaking. They do not need to do a lot of writing. They do not need to do a lot of reading. Through the years of secondary school, they got a very easy life. But when they come to the college, we know that they're largely underprepared. Now, what if we repeat the pattern? Oh, you don't like it. So I say that you don't need to do it. And I become a very popular teacher. No homework, no coursework. And then at the end of the 4 years, when you go to work, your boss asks you, no, we didn't learn this at the college. And so that will be very pity. I'll read my teacher's message at week number 4. I quote some very interesting things. The difference regret in life is between what you want to be and what you actually are. And you can think about the reasons in between. So I guess in each course, my responsibility is actually to show you a path to learn the required skill and to give you enough time to do that. And in this particular assignment, as I said, almost every week I remind you that you have something to do. And actually 10 days before it's due, I say, now if you do it now, you still don't need to rush because you have several days to do it. But if you do it 4 weeks before the plan ahead, actually it's not a big work. No. So, having said that, I would say we need to put some thought into our time management. And that's why in the second learning contract, we say it's self-regulated learning. You need to put into account the learning goals, the timeline, the limitations, and how you can get the job done. And the most interesting thing after I finish that is this. Okay, I really cherish your idea of the workload. And so when you look at the schedule here, okay, when you look at the schedule here, yes, I think, yes, let's go here. Forgive me because after the holiday I got a cold, so my speaking is a little bit slow. Now this is your first learning contract, okay, 4 weeks, all right? So originally speaking, now starting from week number 5, 6, and 7 is your second learning contract. That means at the end of this week, you have to submit something. Oh, yes, it's very tiring, right? Oh, yes, it's very tiring. And because this was easier at the beginning of the semester. So week number 5 is already there, this is last week, and this is this week. So you have to get something done, right? I love the work. So, but after reading your feedback, so somewhere last week, so if you look at week number 5, I guess. Is that number 5? Week number 6. Week number 6, yes. I say, oh yes, I should not just go, just leave your comments like this. So I just sent out very interesting questions. Not here, I'm sorry, not here. Right, I mean, it's right there at the beginning because I put it at the very top in the class announcement. So I say, oh, let's try to do this. Yes, questionnaire. I sent a questionnaire on September the 30th. Today is the 5th. That means about 6 days ago. I say, okay, it's too rush for my student to get something done because normally the student will not be conscious about a date. So I sent this out to test the water. I say, in order to help reduce the workload in our course learning, that was not to make it so rushed. So that each student, each pair, and each team of students can have a better learning experience in the semester. It is just after examining student feedback from the first learning contract, I would like to say, let's combine LC002 and LC003 together so that you do not need to submit the artifacts for LC002 by the end of this week. What you need to do is just to submit the artifact for LC003 because basically the two learning contracts are one. You have to learn the transitions. So I say, if you agree to this agreement, please complete the questionnaire below. The voice of support, we're going to use the feedback result of this question and confirm our suggestion. Have you completed the questionnaire? Have you? Okay, now let's take a look at the result. This is the questionnaire result. So let's take a look at how many of you have done this. I got 8 responses, all right? So what about the other 10 to 12? You do not care about this? All right, so 8 responses and 7 saying yes, we want to reduce it, and we want to just submit the artifacts according to the schedules of LC003, and we would like not to submit LC02's artifacts by the end of this week. 1 saying no. Now, if you have not done this, okay, can you do it now so that I can have some ideas of your expectations? Okay? So I think it's, for me, I cherish your feedback very much, and I'll take a look at it. Normally, as a teacher, because we issue the schedule at the beginning of the semester, so each student should look at the schedule and manage your time. But again, as I said, if you are still very young in your age and self-management, as a teacher, I'm willing to offer you this very important adjustment. So may I just see the result now? Have you done this? Okay, we will visit that towards the end of the class because I still have to give time to Regina to do the sharing. So may I just invite you to complete the questionnaire so that we can take a look at the result. Another thing I would like to remind you, which is already set out on week number 6, all right? Week number 6, it's this. You know that in the second learning contract, you need to work in team, all right? You need to work in team. In the second learning contract, you need to work in team, all right? Now that you do not have any team, how can I expect you to turn in the artifact for learning contract number 2? So let's take a look at this. I sent out this on September 30th, okay? So, but I did not receive any response yet. So could you tell me your team formations? Yeah, this is one way then I have to ask help from you, right? And realistically, if you do not have a team, how can I expect you to submit the article for learning country number 2, right? And this was sent out on September the 30th, and expecting you to give me the response by Friday, which means October the 2nd, all right? But I didn't get any response so far, so may I just invite you to copy this table, okay, and give me your team. So you see that the reasons why I have to make adjustment at some time, I cannot be unrealistic. I don't even teams formations for the class, and how can I expect you to submit the learning contracts on the level 2's artifacts? So I need to offer you a choice, all right? So make sure you give me the teams formations. The 2 pair, pair 1, pair 2, perhaps is the student name of the 2 pairs, all right? As soon as today. Okay, having said that, I think I need to give it time for Regine. Regine, are you ready? Okay, so I thank you very much for your participation today in class, and I expect that many of you will come here to do that. And the call for participation for this week was issued last week. All right, you want to use the USBs, right? Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. So complete the questionnaire and then give me the team formations detail.
I'm going to talk about the digital divide. And then we'll introduce a website that I think it's very useful. It's called.
You go to Slideshow, yes. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. The website is called Code Stadium. And before I start the introduction, I want to mention the concept of digital divide as the professor has already told us. Digital divide, because while during the PPT, my roommate was playing her cell phone, so I take a picture because I think it can make the digital divide more obvious and more easier to understand. Usually we take these things like computers and cell phones for granted. We think that it's the necessary part of our life. But however, there are students and our peers in the world, and they don't have this, and they just use some chalks and blackboard. Their condition is very difficult and even out of our imagination. So the situation is very, very bad. We can see that only 3% of populations in Africa has internet, and only 1% of population in Cambodia and Bangladesh and Laos has internet. And even worse, the Middle East, it only accounts for 0.9% of global internet users. So their situation is really pitiful. It's a sign for the where they can use emails. So the digital divide is like the unequal access to information and communication technology, and also the unequal access to knowledge skill required to use the technology. So to improve the skills, there is a website and it's free. It's called Stadium. What is Code Stadium? It's a home to online courses created by Code.org. It's a tool to help you to know know something about programming and how to use the internet. Let's see more. It's a page, it's a homepage. And their goal is to help everyone, every student, every school to have the opportunity to learn computer science. And it's what Malala Nobel Peace Prize winner said. They want girls to have the equal rights to get access to computer technology. And also Obama said, don't just play on your phone, you should know how to program on it. And it's surely it's a Facebook, it's a head of Facebook. They said the children and including girls need the opportunity to learn computer science. Some comments. And their results, I think it's very positive results. And we can see there is still is not improvement, but the result is not bad. Okay, there is a video. I hope this video is useful to understand the website.
I was 13 when I first got access to a computer.
My parents bought me a Macintosh in 1984 when I was 8 years old. I was in 6th grade.
I learned to code in college.
Freshman year, first semester, intro to computer science.
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I think it was pretty humble beginnings. I think the first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
The first time I actually had something come up and say, hello world, and I made a computer do that. It was just astonishing.
Learning how to program didn't start off as wanting to learn all of computer science or trying to master this discipline or anything like that. It just started off because I wanted to do this one simple thing. I wanted to make something that was fun for myself and my sisters. And I wrote this little program, then basically just add a little bit to it. And then when I needed to learn something new, I looked it up, either in a book or on the internet, and then added a little bit to it.
It's really not unlike kind of playing an instrument or something, or playing a sport. It starts out being very intimidating, but you kind of get the hang of it over time.
Coding is something that can be learned, and I know it can be intimidating. A lot of things are intimidating, but you know, what isn't?
A lot of the coding people do is actually fairly simple. It's more about the process of breaking down problems than sort of coming up with complicated algorithms as people traditionally think about it.
You don't have to be a genius to know how to code. You need to be determined.
Addition, subtraction, that's about it.
You should probably know your multiplication tables.
You don't have to be a genius to code. Do you have to be a genius to read?
Even if you want to become a race car driver or play baseball or build a house, all of these things have been turned upside down by software.
What it is computers are everywhere. You want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? It's just all over.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, information, and none of us know how to read and write code.
When I was in school, I was in this after-school group called the Whiz Kids, and when people found out, they laughed at me, and all these things. And I'm like, man, I don't care. I think it's cool, and I'm learning a lot, and some of my friends have jobs.
Our policy is literally to hire as many talented engineers as we can find. The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome as possible.
fantastic chef,
free food,
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
free laundry,
snacks, even places to play and video games and scooters. There's all these kind of interesting things around the office and places where people can play or relax, or go to think or play music or be creative.
Whether you're trying to make a lot of money or whether you just want to change the world, computer programming is an incredibly empowering skill to learn.
I think if someone had told me that software is really about humanity, that it's really about helping people by using computer technology, it would have changed my outlook a lot earlier.
To be able to actually come up with an idea and then see it in your hands and then be able to press a button and have it be in millions of people's hands. I think we're the first generation in the world that's really ever had that kind of experience.
Just to think that you can start something in your college dorm room and you can have a set of people who haven't built a big company before come together and build something that 1 billion people use as part of their daily lives is just crazy to think about, right? It's humbling and it's amazing.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
It's amazing. I think it's the closest thing we have to a superpower.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
It's too far away from our daily life. I think as students in the University of Macau, we have very easier access to all the computer technology, and we think we should maybe start some volunteer program by using such online resources to help the students in the poor areas. They have not the skills and they have not the knowledge how to use the computer science. So we think that if we put ourselves into this issue, and we think we can make a little bit difference. Thank you very much.
We thank you, Regina, for giving us a very inspiring talk and video. But we have another speaker today, it's Haley. So Haley, would you come here so that we could share your knowledge? All right, let's keep it. Oh, okay. Let me see. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Okay.
So good morning, everyone. First of all, how was your holiday? Because I think it's pretty true. Because some say, oh, it's enjoyable, and for me, it's kind of easy. Well, like friends gathering, we have visiting relatives, a lot of things going on, and we maybe sort of like doing assignments. And the thing is, okay, we are learning about technology and another category of information technology, in particular web technology. But I really want to share today, and I'm happy that I can share today, because I want to know that what's the world going on, and what can we do to make a difference. Actually, I'm kind of inspired by a news that I read recently. And then, but before we talk about what I'm going to share today, I want to ask this kind of question. What did I learn in this course so far? Is there anyone want to talk about it? Yeah, what have we we learned in this course so far? Yeah, maybe some say digital divide. Actually, my learning contract 001 is about digital divide, and I was inspired by a lot of artifacts and facts about the world, and people suffering with this all kind of gap between countries and impoverished parts of the world. And it's true, because maybe it's just a general education course, so we only get access to like some facts, okay, about the course. We wouldn't be able to learn much about technology, but today it matters. Because this is the news that I read last week, and then it's about it's about the Earth. And then the Green Wave movement happened in Copenhagen. They said, okay, Copenhagen lightening the way to greener, more efficient cities. So what is it about? It's about reducing carbon footprint, where people try to pick a way for the road in the road. You see a person riding a bicycle on the road, and then you see these type of green lights here. And it's made of LED, and it's like a synchronize the road and make sure that they wouldn't suffer from kind of accidents, and they will be more aware of the red lights and so on and so forth. And the thing is, people may not do it. For example, in Macau, right? It's impossible because the road is narrow enough, and then due to the times, consume issues, and then the safety reasons. So people don't do that. But think about what is really going on in the world, because we suffer from global warming, rising sea levels, and a lot of things bad happening to us, and we have no idea what this is. Like, okay, we're busy for making money or for going after our dreams. It is true, but what about reading and knowing more about the world and what is really going on now? And then you see, like, except Copenhagen, we also have Los Angeles doing this type of thing. And it's really good because the technology is around us. I actually found that technology is kind of abstract thing that we should put information definition for it, because it's just everywhere. And technology is like that. It's like the orange line. And then here, okay, it's population, okay. We're rising up, but technology is rising a lot more higher. But what we can do about it, because technology, what we are having or enjoying every day with Facebook, WeChat, apps, a lot of things, making our lives convenient. And the Green Wave movement just happened to two cities, Copenhagen in Denmark and Los Angeles in the United States. And the thing is, okay, we can only have 5 fingers to count, because just not everyone wants to do it, because it's just too time consuming and not everybody tries at least. That's why I think in Macau we can take public transportation and a lot of things, and we can still make good use of technology to help save the environment. Okay, that happens. What more do you live? Oh, I live in USA. Still good. You lady, I live in Macau. You know where it is? I think I can have your phone number and know more about where is Macau. So Macau is small, but I still believe we can do a little bit about it. And then there's a quote from Ruth Folden Benedict saying, "The peoples of Earth are one family." So we are part of the world, and we are all in this together. So, does technology make our life better? Yes, it is, right? Because it actually makes us enjoying the life where we actually are. And RNS is actually rich summary. It's all those apps that we are getting and we have access to are really useful. Like the first one, RSS, is actually putting our life easier, because it can be a reader, right? And then actually we find those news, what's really going on in the world. And then now with this, news finding us, okay? Because we got to know what it is and what's really going on. Put it into automatic and connected to the world, to technology maybe. And then the other, podcast, okay? Digital media, and then we have a sort of audio, video, and PDF, EPUB can be used with podcasts. It's like broadcast, but it's more convenient now. And it's like one more example, social bookmarking. And then we have like, it enables readers or social users to add and annotate, edit and share their type of sharing. And then for example, Qzone, Facebook, we do it every day. We just didn't realize what we are doing because we're just there, and nothing's changed. Like mashup, graphics, and text, videos. And just like, for example, we have music or videos that was YouTube, this type of thing. And we have a lot of technology, and these new terms are maybe terminology for getting to know more what about the technology and things like that. Okay, new softwares are being invented at all times, right? So I have another news about it, and it's related to technology. And you know, digital industries, digital media industry is sort of like the assets we getting all the time. And then like this is from the New York Times. Sorry about this. And then it's saying like they have the software provided to the German media company because it wants their business to get a lot more booming. And then the other fact like, okay, half of today's transformation of television is storage. I mean, it's another news, basically. And then we have access to channels, online services. Okay, in other words, we just get access to it. And again, technology is everywhere. And then we have also the videos, etc., etc. And then television transformed 1.0. Okay, we have Web 3.0 in the future. And then we actually making a lot of efforts into it, and a lot of people get into it. But what do we get? Oh, does it really make our life better? Again, this is a question. Okay, Mars, Uranus, Earth, and we are all in this together. We're just in the world, right? We live together. And we're part of the world. Technology is self-moving, but what about our Earth? Okay, we see a lot of people, okay, we're e-learning, right? The new issue. We put it in education. eBay, we use it online and to make kind of a customer service a lot easier. A lot of people get connected through social networking. And the universal phenomena is like global warming, rising sea level, glaciers melting, and the disaster storms like flood, a tsunami. This type of thing. What can we do? Well, for me, okay, put down here for a while, okay? And I think we can spend maybe just 5 minutes a day, okay? Go on the website, the New York Times, or Science, or whatever technology, to read more and learn more about the world, okay? See what is happening around us. And make good use of the share button, because we have Facebook accounts, or WeChat. We can just simply share what we have and what we learn. And then we can just simply tell others, okay, we can make a difference, right? Because like simply we just leave the room and we can simply turn off the lights and then switch off the AC. And I think it is simply as simple as the thing that we can do. And I'm going to share with you a quick video about what is it, and then what is the Earth submarine. Sorry.
You need some help with the sound?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Let's see. I think it's good.
Humans. What an incredible word. We're considered the most intelligent species on the planet. However, we are the worst. What are we doing in this world? Who brought us here? What's our mission on this planet? Maybe we'll never understand it. But it seems that our only mission is to continue with its destruction. Have you ever considered that this planet does not belong to us? Either way, its care is in our hands. They were here way before us. And we are nothing but their guests. We We came and invaded their territory, and we're destroying their home. They've been tolerant. We've been forgiven countless times. But we keep ignoring their situation. We've been their kidnappers, their killers. However, they accept us as their owners. We're the only species that attacks, destroys, annihilates, contaminates, and extinguishes just for a mission, or just to live better. The world is yours. It's ours. It's for all of us. However, remember it's their world too. And we have to understand that they can't do anything to save their lives, much less to save their planet. Planet Earth is dying. We're destroying it in a savage way, but it's hungry for love. It's getting weak. And despite it all, it keeps giving to us generously the best experiences since we arrived on it. The planet has been the best host for a species. Doesn't it need recognition? If we were given the capacity to speak, think, create, build, and help, why do we remain silent, ignoring, destroying, and killing? Open your eyes. You are dying too, along with your planet. The only planet in our solar system that we were given the privilege to live. We are billions on this planet. We are a thinking race, rational, dominant. Why we haven't noticed it? We are capable of conquering countries, the moon, even planets. However, we're not capable of conquering our own hearts. Touch your heart. Feel what it's trying to say. Listen to what it's yearning for. Let's understand that we have to coexist on the same planet. Start by changing yourself. Engage yourself. Make sure your children know it and understand it. And remind those who have forgotten. When the day humanity stops existing, and another species finds our planet, they'll see that we were a species that fell down, but got up and fixed our mistakes. The planet is not the same anymore, and we cannot wait any longer. Everybody knows what we have to do. Our time is now. The future of the planet is still in your hands. Help it.
It's pretty true because some say our God is the creator of the world. And what I believe is that we are the creator of our future. We are the creator of our future generations. And what we can do and what we learn in this class, or what we learn about what we read, is actually can be put in use as a little creature, human being. We don't have to necessarily have to be like a sociologist or a technologist. I guess we have a term. So why don't we just put technology and into saving the earth, and we can do a little bit about it. And thank you. I believe to start with little bit changes made, and that's what I want to share because it's really. I'm not sure if it is really helpful, but at least I hope we can do a little bit about it. And yeah, thank you so much.
We thank you, Haley, for giving us a very interesting and inspiring talk speech, which is very useful for us to think about what we can do together as a students. And today, we're going to wrap up today's class by going back to, we'll take attendance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. You have to go to the next class. I know you're in a rush. I will take care of attendance here. After I So I see you on Thursday, all right? Coming back on Thursday, we have another very interesting thing. We'll tell you the result of the questionnaire and what you will do together in learning contract 1, 2, and 3. All right? Thank you. Thank you. So that's it for today's CISG 114, Section 1. Until this Thursday, stay tuned.